Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I will say some vocabularies related to nationalities of the countries. Okay, so let's start. First one, USA. We call them American. American. Canada. The person who stays in Canada, we call them Canadian. Canadian. Mexico. The person who is staying in Mexico, we call them Mexican. Mexican. Person who stays in Brazil, we call them Brazilian. Brazilian. Person who stays in Argentina, we call them Argentinian. Argentinian. Person who call them UK, we call them British. British. Who stays in France, we call them French. Okay, like who stays in France, we call them French people. Who stays in Russia, we call them Russian. Who stays in Spain, we call them Spanish. Spanish, not Spanish, it's Spanish. Okay, next. Who stays in Portugal, we call it Portuguese. Portuguese, okay. Who stays in Poland, we call them Polish. Polish, not police. Okay, it's Polish. Who stays in Greece, we call it Greek. The country name is Greece, and the person who stays there, we call them Greek. Person who stays in Turkey, we call them Turkish. We call them Turkish. The person who stays in Egypt, we call them Egyptian. Egyptian. Person who stays in China, we call them Chinese. Chinese. Person who stays in Japan, we call them Japanese. Japanese. Person who stays in India, we call them proudly Indian, right? Next. Who stays in Pakistan, we call them Pakistani. Pakistani. The person who stays in Mongolia, we call them Mongolian. Mongolian. Person who stays in Australia, we call them Australian. Australian. Person who stays in Germany, we call them German. German. Sorry. Person who stays in Switzerland, we call them Swiss. We call them Swiss. Person who stays in Austria, we call them Austrian. Okay, Australian and Austrian. Okay, they are two different countries and two different nationalities. So never mix them up, right? Australia, we call them Australian, and Austria, we call them Austrian. Okay, so I will share this kind of vocabulary on my next video. Until or unless, stay tuned. Do like, share, subscribe my channel, follow my channel. Bye-bye. Take care. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel.